Thank you for tuning in to listen to these fireside chats from Tony and his wife Sage as they share their own stories about this year that has brought so many challenges for everyone. We hope you find them to be helpful. If you listened to the first episode, you heard how they encouraged us to find the blessing, to see the beauty in each moment, and to be the creator of your own emotional experiences. What you're about to hear now is the second part of this three-part series, where they explain the next step, how to be a blessing. You'll learn how to make one small, simple shift in how you approach the holidays that will allow you to enjoy yourself so much more, and also open your heart and anchor your state of being in love and kindness so that you can be a blessing to those you love most. To watch the video version of this episode, go to tonyrobbins.com/holiday. And we hope you tune in a few weeks for the next fireside chat from Tony and Sage.
Hello everyone, it's Sage Robbins, back for Fireside Chat number 2. We loved hearing from you. Thank you for just your outpouring of love, and it was just beautiful to hear from you.
And it's Tony here, and I'm wondering if you did your homework. If you haven't seen the first one, I hope you do. Remember, the homework was to find the blessing in the middle of COVID, not to just be positive thinky, but because you deserve to feel that no matter what happens in life, there is some positive meaning if we look for it. Maybe it was time with family. Maybe it was your own growth. Maybe it was finding a new way to do your business. I don't know what it is, but there's something there. Maybe it was time for you to take care of your own health. But if you did the steps, the first step was find the blessing. The second step was be a blessing. Find a way to give to others, because that's what the spirit of the season's about. And if you be a blessing for others, you'll be blessed. But today, we thought we'd do a shorter fireside chat.
That's funny. These were always supposed to be 10 minutes, by the way. Thanks for sticking with us.
But are going to attempt to do it. And our theme today is, since the holidays are literally around the corner, we just want to see what would happen if this was the greatest holiday of your life, in spite of COVID, in spite of politics, in spite of, maybe the limitations and all the questions that you normally deal with the holidays, like gifts and getting there and who's going to host and all those things. But now we got to go, who can come or not? Can we eat outside or inside? Can we use the bathroom? All these rules that are being added out there. But what if, in spite of all that, you could make this the greatest holiday of your life? And we believe we can, and we know you can. But in order to do that, you got to kind of come back to what's the purpose of the holiday, and how do people think about the holidays normally? I know in the past there were times we've had stress, and there are times we've enjoyed it. What was the difference?
I don't know. I remember maybe this was about 4 or 5 years ago, and I was gearing up, and it was right around this time and getting ready for Christmas, and I was just so focused on the logistics of it. I was so focused on the list, and trust me, it can still happen. But it took... I took the joy out of the process of really giving, in the spirit of it, and I don't even mean just giving gifts, just being connected to the time to be together and to celebrate together and to connect. And, I came to Tone and I was like, honey, I said, I caught myself, because, it's so easy to get down that rabbit hole sometimes. And just the experience is so much kinder and more beautiful than that when we come back home inside of ourselves and connect to the deeper meaning.
And so many people, when they think about the holidays, their first experience is stress, and that was before COVID. Yeah. So add COVID, add politics, add all those things, and what happens is people are kind of expecting it to be stressful. And of course, whatever we focus on, where focus goes, energy flows, right? And so whatever we expect, we tend to find. It's just a self-fulfilling prophecy. And so maybe it's time to make a decision about the kind of holiday you want to have and the time you want to have with your family up front, instead of waiting to see how it evolves, or worse, anticipating all the challenges going to be there. And don't get me wrong, I know there's logistics and things to deal with, but we can have those experiences. And when you're looking forward to something, those logistics are part of an excitement and anticipation. And what are the holidays about? To me, they're really about wrapping up the year and breaking our pattern of day-to-day work and really reconnecting to what we're grateful for. I mean, Thanksgiving, as an example, is supposed to be about giving thanks, but some of us think it's about having an impossible turkey or a regular turkey or managing so many details. So if you want to have that, you got to ask yourself what gets in the way. And right now in our society, there are 2 emotions that are pretty dominant: fear and anger. There are people that are really fearful, and there are people that are angry that they're fearful because they feel like they don't understand what's really going on. And there are people that are fearful of angry people because they think they're angry about it. And what's making all this happen is a set of rules. And I don't mean rules is a hot topic right now. because we all have rules, but now some rules are being imposed upon you. How many people can come to your dinner if you're in California? You can only be with your family 2 hours. And I have some friends in New York that called me and they're like, what is this? Everybody's saying it's science, but I can't go to my favorite restaurant after 10 p.m. They said, where is COVID at 7, 8, 9 p.m.? It just suddenly shows up. It isn't science. So whether you like the rules or not, there are rules out there and we have to figure out how to deal with those rules. But the ones that bother us more than the ones even trying to be imposed upon us, and some of them are probably extremely useful in some areas, the real ones are the ones we have inside of ourselves that we don't even realize are controlling us. Look, from the time you're born till about 7 years old, and everybody has different estimates, you're basically, your unconscious is recording things. You're taking in and recording things, and they still affect you decades later when you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years old or more. And so rules are just these unquestioned beliefs about how things are supposed to be or how people are supposed to be. And so much of our stress comes because we think our mother shouldn't be worried. I was talking to my dearest friends recently, and she was telling me how worried she was that her mother's going to be worried during the holidays because she's in her 80s. And I said, do you hear what you're saying? Your words are going to be worried. Here's what's true. She's going to be worried. It's her way of expressing love. And if you don't want her to be the way she's going to be, you're adding stress to yourself and stress to her, and you're no longer connected. And there's so many, what are the types of things that show up at the holidays that people don't look forward to when they get together with family?
I think just, as we talked about the logistics or dynamics of human beings, I remember the first time that Tony came home with my family, and my family, we're not Italian, but we are kind of like a big Italian family. We're loud and playful.
And everybody's talking. I'd be talking to somebody in my family, you listen, right? And you give attention. It's part of how you respect and love somebody. So somebody's talking to two of us, and all of a sudden one of them just checks out and starts talking across the table to somebody else. And another, and I'm like, I couldn't even concentrate. I'm like, honey, is everybody happy? She goes, yeah, that's the way we are. And I had to change my rules to chaos is joy at some level, or this is how they do it. Someone will be talking to somebody and then just suddenly talk to someone else and leave that conversation in the middle. So a lot of our stress is how we've been raised or how we've been programmed.
No, for sure. And I was going to say exactly what he just did right now. I love it so much because we talk over each other all the time.
Yeah, we do.
But what was so beautiful is it was like a meeting of worlds, and part of those worlds were different belief systems and rules. And what's so beautiful about my family is, there's laughter. It sounds like we're yelling. Everybody is talking all over each other, but there's a playfulness, there's a playfulness, and it all fits. And
then there's your mom.
And my mama, yeah, for sure.
Your mama makes the entire atmosphere.
There's just no right or wrong way to be. And, I don't know whether I'll be going home this year for Christmas, due to just with crossing the border in Canada and so forth. But, I can still in this moment close my eyes and hear my mommy's laughter. And, the rule to choose to, bring your heart